Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino, getting you ready for Sunday night, Monday morning in the markets with the S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow recap and overview. Again, thank you to all the subscribers, and thanks to everyone who likes the videos, leaves a comment. It's very important. The more likes, the more comments, the more you help the channel. Anybody else who wants to donate to buy me a coffee or Patreon to keep this going is welcome to and is much appreciated. So inside day on Friday, this is the S&P mini futures. Everything I'm looking at are the futures, front run futures, continuous contract on TradingView. By the way, if you're looking for a platform, TradingView is a wonderful online platform and mobile. Link in the description below for my key link that I use it on a paid person. They do not sponsor this, but if you use that link, it gets me credits. So inside day on Friday, so it's inside days are generally deciding where to go next. We're going to look at some of the key levels going into Monday, but we ran up Thursday closing just above the rotation zone, but Friday closing back into it. Still could rotate back down, and overhead we ran into some resistance on Thursday. We have this declining path trading trend line. If you want to know about their video, links in the description below, how we draw them, free of course, providing as much information to people to help them navigate the markets as possible. All right, here's what I'm watching on the shorter term chart. Again, if you've watched a number of my videos, you know how we focus on candle bodies. It's one of the reasons we use candlesticks. Information jumps out at you a lot quicker. Candle bodies are more important than the tails or the wicks. And when you see a bunch of them line up at a key level, that can be a key level, but it's still more helpful to start looking at the bodies to help find levels of significance. So I have this 1 hour chart. I have some levels marked off, and you can see how nicely they silhouette this horizontal channel, which can provide you with nice breakout and breakdown. So we started to break down at the very end of the day, catching on the 50 EMA. And let me just show you something else. Again, concept, you've heard me talk about it before. Here we had resistance. So I just added this line. Let me change the color really quick so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to be working on some upgrades to the channel. So over the time, so we're gonna get this much more dynamic, much more interactive. So here is the resistance level I was talking about. So resistance becoming support. So you can see I was transitioning into support in here with the rising rotation zone. Now it was support here. So the first major horizontal level broke down. This minor level holding right now. But guess what? A closing below that is going to then trigger watching for me for lower price action on Monday. Now, if I start getting a short-term close, like 15-minute close and a rollover retest, then that's going to be really key resistance. What do I mean by a retest? For example, let me see if there's a good example here. Here's a 15-minute chart. We're just going to use this horizontal channel. See how it broke below, came back up, and then went back in? That's a retest and then a continuation back in. Breakdown, back in. Breakdown, back in. Breakdown, so far, we broke down from this level, but that's why I'm going to be watching. If this level starts holding and rolls over, or if we head lower and this level's tested and rolls over, that's a successful failure and retest. For example, you see over here, this prior resistance area right here on the right. Breakout, come back down, that's a retest, and then follow through. So this level now is confirmed as support. That's the kind of thing we're watching. So I'm watching that both the black line. So if we come up right on the open on Sunday night or Monday, we have to watch the futures as soon as they start trading on Sunday. Coming up and then roll over, that will confirm that this level is held as key resistance, and then we'll start watching for some lower price action. If it just goes lower and we hold this 43.78, 43.79 area and then roll over, that's what I'm watching for lower prices. By the way, the upper level is 43.84. I know it's hard to read at times. So those are my key levels. Now, if we start rallying back in the congestion and get some strength, especially if we start getting above the midpoint of the channel, about 43.92, then I'm watching for a retest of 4,400. And through 4,400, then I'll watch for the 44.21 highs. Because what can happen is, it's called a shake and bake pattern. It's what I call it. It's going to suck people in, especially if it starts to trigger a little on the short side, and then we get a quick move into the channel again. Everybody who gets short is now questioning it. Then if it rockets to the other side of the channel, it shook them in, and it's going to bake them on the other side. So I'm always aware of that potential. So if we do break down and then rally back up, I will keep an eye on that, because it's like a little trap for everybody who wanted to be bearish. Larger term, we're still in the 4-hour rotation zone. So we start breaking below this 43.80 area. Next little area I'm watching, we have a harmonic 43.6850 with the bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone. So I can watch for that. That's if we sell off and then catch on that. That's where I'll start watching for a potential reversal or rotation back up. If we start getting below the 4-hour rotation zone, my next key area of support, 43.55. That's this prior resistance becoming support. You're going to get so sick of me hearing that. But the simplest things work the best. That's this 43.55 level. I just switched to the daily, and below that, next minor is a harmonic 43.32. Major would be 43.17. And below that, if there was a supermarket disaster, which we always got to keep both the upside and the downside in mind, especially with this recent volatility, my key support is this trend line that's held multiple times now. That's coming in at 42.88. So now I'm prepared for the downside. To the upside, you see that 4,400, that's key. And right above that, we have 44.04. So my key resistance level is 4,400 to 44.04 on the upside. We get through there, 44.21. Above there, we have harmonic projection, 44.4175. to 44.41 to 44.4175. That is a harmonic retracement. That's the purple line, and a harmonic projection. That's the 12.5% projection from the low on October 1st to the high on the 7th. And then above that, 44.62, then 44.77. Everything else I'll be looking at will be intraday price action. You can watch any of my videos, especially like things I do on Tesla, and you can see how I do intraday price action projections. I do them all the time. Keep in mind that if we do get through that 4,400 to 44.04, we still have the declining trend line coming in very close, just below Thursday's high. So that 44.2150 area with the declining trend line will be an area of resistance. I'm going to call it about 44.19 to 44.21 is the next area of resistance to the upside. Well, what was the headline? Nasdaq, double trouble, boil and bubble. Why do I say that? Because we have this double bottom. We've hit the second target twice, which is profit targets and running up a stop. That's also making this sloppy double top pattern, which was triggered on the 4-hour. Now it's slightly lower probability because it's within the 4-hour rotation zone, and you see here it's catching on the rotation zone. So we start getting a key break below this 14,796 area. The targets to the downside, 14,754. 75, 14,711, 25, 14,669, 75. So we do have a slightly lower probability double top that could go lower in price. We'll be keeping an eye on that, especially if we have weakness on Sunday night, Monday morning. But we still have not completed the full pattern to the upside. Now, technically, Well, from my perspective, this has already hit the second profit. So if this continues, it would stop out remaining position at break even. But to the upside, this could easily still come down and then rotate back up and still hit the final target on this double bottom. So that's why it's double trouble, boil and bubble, because we have a double within a double, and they could both still work out. And depending on how they're being traded and stops, of course. If we continued below 14,669.75, next major cluster 14,573.75 to 14,582. So we have a harmonic and a significant level. Then below there, we have some minor support about 14,450, and then 14,367.75. Let's take a look at the daily though. So daily in front of that, if we had the big sell-off, about 14,440 is where the upward sloping trend line is, and you can see all that buying pressure that was in there. So that would be my next target on a big sell-off to the downside, and big sell-off means something like the bar on the 4th. We're still against, this is daily chart by the way, daily rotation zone. So you see in this double bottom that we saw in that 4-hour, it's run up 2 times and hit the top of the rotation zone. The reason we use the concept of the rotation zone is because it's generally areas that if the markets are going to roll over, that's where they do. And so we see we've come up, we've hit the other side, and we've stalled out. Now, if we're going to go to the full target on the other side of this double, that would then be above the rotation zone, so we'd watch where it's closing. It's key to close. If you're on the bullish camp, it's key to, you're going to want to close above the rotation zone, which is coming in right now about 14,980. Above this 15,087 level, the next key area above that, if we do have a strong rally on Monday, 15,170 is the next little area. We also have that key open from September 28th there, so that is something I would not ignore, especially for raising stops. Then above there, my next area to the upside is right here. I'm going back, changing my colors. There we go. Okay, so next level above there, 15,320, 15,319 to 15,320. And we have another trend line above that and some pretty significant resistance. So those are all the targets, the upside and the downside. The key is start going with those double targets if we have substantial weakness, and if we have strength, going for the upside double targets. That's how I am analyzing the market going into Sunday night, Monday. Finally, the mini Dow, another inside day. Indecisive, that is above the rotation zone. So in a neutral, it is neutral. On a daily basis, it is neutral. 4-hour, you can see here. Again, let me drop that 1 hour. You see on that 1 hour how I have this bottom channel. I'm going to lower this down right here. See how nicely when you start focusing on candle bodies, don't get distracted by the wicks. Look at this key level. So now I have a key level I'm going to be watching for a close above and below right here. Also, little trick I showed on a Tesla video. Use a measured move. So measure your width between the candle body, best fit lines, and then if it breaks the downside, you can use that projection, or to the upside, you can also, with the tool here, let me just show you, we can do a projection. So I'm gonna click there, and then I'm gonna actually use my settings, and I'm just gonna do a 100% projection right there. So that would be key levels to the downside that I'd be using. It's a really great way to use for profit objectives and stops, and that would be to the upside. I'll just leave those on the chart. Instructional little tidbit works on stocks and the indices very, very well. You can also use that 50% level of that for ratcheting up and down stocks on the way to the full target. So those levels, 34,606 is what I'm watching. If we start breaking below that, I'll watch for that retest and rollover. We get through there. Let me just check my higher time frames and see that target's well within the 4-hour rotation zone. So below 34,496, my target would be about 34,450 to 34,464 target area on a breakdown for the first target. If we go to the upside, so let me go back to that 1 hour. If this holds, you see we've dipped below. That's why you want to watch for these key closes. You see all the dips below. So this sucks people in, and then it keeps closing above. That's why if you're going to take shots on just a quick break, it's really advisable to start ratcheting down your stops and use what we tend to do. Sorry about that little quick stutter. What we tend to do is use multiple lots so you can ratchet down your stops and get to break even if you're trying to aggressively trade breakouts or breakdowns to the short or long side. It's really tough just to go in with single lots. That's why you're better to trade the minis or the micros so you can use multiple lots and scale out of your positions and get to break even if you're going to try to jump on things quickly. Same thing comes into play for, as I talked about with the S&P. If we break down and then quickly reverse back into the channel, I'll watch for the other side, 34,721 area above that. Then we'd have a breakdown, shake and bake, and then I'd watch for the target aggressively going the other side, and this lines up really nicely. Look at these candle bodies to the upside. Those candle bodies are coming in about 34,833, and we have 34,840. So that is my key then target to the upside should we get a close above 34,721. And when I say a close, I love an hourly close above there. So that's the key target to the upside. The rotation zone on the 1 hour is flat because we are in consolidation. 4 hour, it still favors the bullish case. Daily is in neutral mode. Above that 34,840, we have 34,934 above there. We still have the harmonic projections in place from a couple days ago. 35,128, 35,322. We pretty much closed at the path trend line right now. This is a redraw, and we've held a retest successfully so far. So now we have a new defining point. Let me anchor that correctly. New defining point right there. That's just above that 34,840. So that is key resistance, especially to move up stops. Let's see, on a bigger sell-off below 34,175, my next major target cluster, we have a lot of support coming in, 33,715, 33,800. And then below there, on a catastrophic move, we're looking at 33,590. 33,590, and below there we have the flat 200. We use this flat simple 200 because it tests out the best, and we have a harmonic. So the next major support zone, 33,364 to about 33,395. That's major support that you don't want to see broken, because if that support's broken, at least say goodbye for a little bit. Recovery of the market would have failed then, and we'd be looking for a much bigger pullback. Again, please leave some comments, like, dislike. I'm trying to get this to have more traction, and I really need your comments and your video likes. And new here, please subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when I put up videos. Talk to everyone later. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye for now.